¿Qué onda, lokos? Hey, it's Monday again. Mexican Movie Monday, that's right. And since we're in the middle of December, I thought we would talk about Christmas movies. And one of my favorite Christmas movies is Jingle All the Way, man. Come on.
Oh, baby.
Arnold is amazing at everything he does, dude. Terminator 2, Total Recall, Kindergarten Cop, Junior. Are you kidding me? Anything. But some of the other Christmas movies that came to mind were like Home Alone, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and recently I saw Miracle on 34th Street. You know, that was a good one, actually. And Santa Claus. No, not that Santa Claus. That's the one. That's the one. This movie is directed by René Cardona. René Cardona is the father of René Cardona Jr. René Cardona Jr. directed Guyana, Crime of the Century. One of the ones I remember from being Mexican Cinema of Darkness films. Throughout the film, you know, the movie's directed all right. But throughout the film, the audio, I don't really like. It's narrated for most of the time. And the narration sounds like 60s audio, right? Radio sounds. It sounds almost box-like. If I'm honest, it sounds like the narrator is in a shoebox.
Lupita isn't thinking of stealing that doll, is she?
It's just beautiful. I don't know. It is the 60s, right? So it's 1960 and they're having conversations about Sputnik and in space, you know, Santa lives in the clouds further away than the moon. You know, we still didn't have a grasp at, I guess, how planets work, or satellites, really, the moon. And so Santa's actually flying from clouds and passes by the moon to Earth. Whatever. You know, we did land on the moon in 1969, so maybe a bunch of kids didn't understand that. And this movie is pretty much the reversal of Nightmare Before Christmas. Except in Nightmare Before Christmas, Jack Skellington, aka Satan, he's the bad guy in this film. And he does a bunch of stupid shenanigans to Santa Claus. It's really dumb. I love the concept of Santa Claus, I really do. But I would have hated to have seen this when I was a little kid. In this movie, we follow this little girl named Lupita, right? And Lupita's mom is poor, so they don't have any money. And all she wants is like a doll for Christmas. Pretty pathetic stuff, pretty sad stuff, you know? And I grew up pretty poor, and I don't know, this movie felt like I would have really hated it if I saw it when I was a kid. What if Santa didn't get you a skateboard or anything you really wanted that Christmas? You know, there's a lot that you gotta ask here. And don't get me wrong, I do love the concept of Santa, but I think it took on too much, right? And that's besides the creepy stuff in the movie, like the lips on the machine, or the eyelashes on the telescope, or the weird all-seeing eye. Oh wait, I mean all-hearing ear. If I think really closely about it, this movie's not that bad, okay? But it is an hour and 30 minutes long. And for the first 20 minutes, all Santa does is watch kids, right? He sees the kids from different countries and he's playing the piano, and you kind of see stereotypes of that country. I guess that's cool. But it's not really anything of essence to me. And it should have began a long time before, right? So he starts delivering presents about an hour into the movie, and the movie's an hour and a half long. So I'm already just waiting for it to end at that point. The beginning takes way too long to start off. I think I tried to see this movie about 7 times, and each time got less and less amount of time until I finally dedicated the whole time to it. But one of the times I was just trying to watch it, and I got in 5 minutes. I swear to you, I watched 5 minutes and I passed out. I couldn't do it. I'm just surprised that they decided to make a film like this. It's Santa versus Satan is not very fun. It's just pretty ridiculous enough to be ridiculous. Should have just been a wrestling match. It should have been Santo versus Satan, you know? Or shit, you know, Santa should have been Santo, you know? And he could have wrestled like Pitch and powerbombed him or something. I don't know. Something interesting. Instead, what we got is this plain, dry, elongated, boring script. I don't know. I just expected it to be a little better. If you hear Santa versus Satan, you're expecting a lot more excitement than what you get in the film. I promise you. So if you're going to watch this, drink some coffee. Have it in the background. and then rewatch it again. I don't know, have it in the background like 4 or 5 times until you condition yourself that your eyelids need to be open while you're watching the movie, or while you're watching the movie. So eventually your brain will grow accustomed. If I see this movie, I will not pass out. Well, I think we should take a trip into the movie so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Santa Claus. This movie was made in 1960, in case you couldn't tell. How do you even talk about a movie that has Santa living on a crystal candy castle in the clouds? The settings look straight out of an Alejandro Jodorowsky film. Then we get to Santa's Toyland, and we get to see some stereotypes. And Jesus Christ, those cartoon characters are from Africa. I feel the worst for the Japanese and Chinese ones. Also, I didn't know the quote-unquote Orient was like Syria, Saudi Arabia, Arab. And I didn't know they'd stock up on guns. But I am a quarter Syrian, and my grandfather had that exact same gun. So, yeah, I guess they got that right. Couldn't somebody have told Santa to stop doing that? La cucaracha. Are you fucking kidding me? I'm surprised the Mexican kids weren't wearing sombrero. Oh wait, there they are. I cannot believe this movie spends 7 straight fucking minutes showing you stereotypes. Hey, I don't care if you stereotype, just make it interesting or funny. This came off creepy and boring. Not racist, just boring. Then we jump straight to Santa seeing a devil toy, to which he decides to light, I guess, and all of a sudden the guitars from System of a Down comes out and clones himself a few times over. You couldn't have made Pitch the Devil look spookier? Instead, he kind of looks like a chomo.
Come up here, sweetheart.
Now that's pretty fucking creepy. Somehow, Santa gets hit with a rock that hit the doll version of himself and he gets hurt. We then go back to Lupita, wishing she had a doll. That poor girl. As they're watching some puppet show, she looks more traumatized than excited. Y luego el pinche diablo otra vez talks to Lupita's ear, saying the truth, that Lupita doesn't have a doll, messing with her mind.
You haven't got any toys. Keep it.
Also, wait, who's the narrator's voice?
Don't listen to him, Lupita.
It breaks my heart where he says, somehow you will be rewarded.
That's not true, Lupita. If you're good, somehow you'll be rewarded.
Like, that's messed up. You can't honestly say that. Why is everything in this observatory creepy as hell? Just look at it. So Santa still can't get enough peeping. So instead of peeping real life, he decides to peep children's dreams. We then see the dream of the poor little rich boy, in which he wishes his parents would play with him. A dream is a wish your heart makes.
A dream is a wish that the heart makes.
I'm surprised Santa didn't get sued. We then get to see Lupita's dream. And jeez, the fucking devil shows up. Este Loko has to infest the poor.
He'll make Lupita want to steal again. He'll be part of her dream. How awful.
Well, do something, Santa.
Better look at her dream now.
Are you fucking kidding me? So Lupita gets traumatizing dreams of the nurses from Silent Hill, and the poor little rich boy gets to dream of his parents? Yeah, no, that's totally fair. Then they look for the boys again, not the eyelashes again. Yeah, no, this movie's good for kids. All the alchemy stars and all the crazy shit in the movie.
I've got it. We'll break our neighbor's windows.
Like, what the fuck are those kids doing under the bed? They're not doing anything. They're just hanging out there. Look, if we had more little kids' wishes segments, this movie would have been, a little bit good. Then this movie throws in Merlin, of course. And they talk about magic, stardust. I don't know. These sets really do look like Holy Mountain sets, though. Hey, is one of Merlin's butterflies dead? Santa then goes talks to an ape man who's forging a key to open all the doors on Earth? That's some Class A burglary at its finest, man. This guy is a fucking caveman. So, Merlin, a caveman, 100 children work with Santa, I guess. That doesn't look good. Maybe I've never seen a chimney, but I didn't think they were that large. Pinche Russian kid. These reindeer might be the creepiest reindeer next to like Gumby stuffs. Oh no big deal, just passing by the fucking moon.
I wonder where Santa will go first.
Pues Loko, he speaks Spanish, so his first stop is...
First stop, Mexico City.
¿Qué te dije? ¿Qué te dije?
heard Santa.
Santler?
Santa.
Wait, that's a chimney?
He's going to push the chimney out of place.
So he's God and Mary Poppins in this movie. Oh, okay. All right. Santa breaking in through a window is where I draw the line. Then Santa lets poor little rich boy see him, drugs the parents with a cocktail.
It's a strange cocktail, isn't it?
Pitch the devil makes the little boys fight. And I don't know. One of the biggest problems I have with this movie is the constant edits. It could have been a lot better if maybe Pitch just started showing up instead of just popping up. It would add this sense of creepiness to Pitch the devil and not the creepiness to Santa. I mean, Pitch does do some pretty weird stuff, but it would have been a lot creepier if he just kind of moved in from the background. Holy shit. Pitch messing with Lupita's mind is so messed up.
He doesn't bring toys to poor children. Didn't I tell you to keep that doll?
This girl's like 5 years old. She shouldn't have to deal with that shit. Santa might get caught by the cops, the usual. He's hiding in a tree, loud dogs barking, police sirens, you know, Mexico stuffs. Thank Santa. Okay. So Santa lives on one of those clouds, but who lives on the other two? After watching it, I feel even more nauseous, okay? Like, what the hell did I just watch? Why did Santa fight Satan? Why? Or why does Satan even give a fuck about Santa Claus? Here's the big problem with superhero movies nowadays, and this is related, I promise you. Okay, why does every superhero have to stop the end of the world? Why does every superhero have to stop apocalypse, right? One of my favorite movies was Spider-Man Homecoming. Spider-Man Homecoming was different than Spider-Man Far From Home. In Spider-Man Homecoming, Spider-Man tries to stop the Vulture, okay? The Vulture just wants to get tons of money. He wants to take over the city. He doesn't want to take over the whole world. And in Spider-Man Far From Home, Mysterio kind of wants to take over everything. And that's the big issue with Santa in this one, right? Santa in Miracle on 34th Street is perfection. It's perfection. Because he just wants to be recognized as Santa. The big conflict is they don't believe he's Santa. They don't believe Santa's real, right? So the little girl, being from a hyper-capitalist society or just a normal capitalist society, is very secular. You know, believes in rational things. And so when she's introduced to Santa, she refuses to believe it. So that conflict is interesting, right? Secular versus faith. It's a very interesting concept. But you gotta explain to me what it is here. What is this? Santa versus Satan is good versus evil? No, it's not. Santa's not the epitome of good. So why did you introduce him as God? What it feels like to me more is like Santa's a peeping Tom. What it feels like is Santa's some messed up version of Santa. I don't like this version of Santa. Santa should be localized. Even this little Santa Claus right here is brown. Okay? He's brown. And I don't know why I took it so serious, okay? I do appreciate the magical element in the movie, but Miracle on 34th Street did it so much better. It was hard for me to watch this film. It was just hard to digest. It was like, I grew up poor, so I'm like, poor Lupita. If she doesn't get a doll, then what? That's all I kept thinking. It kept you in this hyper-rationalist mindset. And although I appreciate this theme, this movie could have easily been 15 minutes. Max 30 minutes. There was nothing in it. It was like bare boned. Okay, Santa watches kids. Okay, that's 5 minutes max. Okay, Santa drops off presents. 15 minutes. Okay, so that's 20 minutes. Person gets their present. 5 more minutes. Okay, we're done. That's 25 minutes. Okay, the whole pitch storyline, it played off more like a play instead of a movie. And it's 1960s. Movies aren't shit, okay? And I assure you, the movies that I watch are from this area. Think of like Los Olvidados. Think of like movies like this. And then you see this next. Think of even Santo movies. They're more interesting than this. I don't know what they were thinking, you know? Santa is not God. He can never be God. Whether or not you believe in God is not the point. The point is Santa can never be a God. It's just the way it works. I don't know. There's nothing wrong with being Santa. There's nothing wrong with being your neighborhood friendly Spider-Man. You can be just that. You don't have to be the guy who saves the world. You can be the guy who saves your neighborhood. Well, you know, we're in December, so it's almost Christmas time. Hopefully I make another video next week, but I kind of want to talk about some more stuff next time around, you know. I finally hit number 10 with this one, so this is episode number 10. And I just want to say, you know, if I don't see you, Merry Christmas. And I'm Mexican Chewy. And hasta mañana, lokos.
All the men are cowards. You are a woman. Put them to shame now.